Hey guys, welcome back to the Sensipop channel. I'm finally back from my vacation, bringing you another episode of a deck profile. So my vacation in Singapore has been really good. So apart from doing the vacation stuff, one of the things that I did was coincidentally that week was the launch of the Power Boosters promos, and so I enrolled myself in so many of this draft tourneys as I can, just to get it. So I was, due to luck itself, I was able to pull 4 Gokus, 4 Demigras, 4 baby Vegetas. Can you imagine the luck? And I do have 4 Hirudegan. I pulled those 2. I'm just short of 2 Piccolos, but Piccolos is the cheapest card, and I'm not intending to play Piccolos. I was really happy with baby and Demigras because those are what I play. However, I don't mind the 4 Gokus either. One thing that I want to say is thank you guys for sticking with me with all the comments, and especially when I was away, there was still an influx of subscribers, and there's also views in my videos, and that was so good. So before we go into the deck profile, I want to give a big shout out to the people in Singapore, the players in Singapore. I had such a great time playing with you guys. You guys were great, and especially the last evening, we even go for a meal, and we were having meals together, going to do some like a shopping to look at Dragon Ball Z stuff together. That was such a great time spent, and I really enjoyed myself in Singapore. So to the guys in Singapore, thank you so much for the memories. For this week's deck profile, we're going to talk about we're going to use one of the power boosters, and this is definitely one of those power boosters that I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be Demigra. I've been playing with Demigra for quite some time now. With the power boosters, this deck really got good. So without further ado, let's see each other after the short intro. Alright? Alright, so let us go straight into the deck profile. If you don't know what Demigra does, he is actually someone who is... the good part about Demigra is that he is very unpredictable, because he has the ability to wormhole, which is the ability to overwhelm or duck overwhelm 2 times in your turn. So he is extremely unpredictable, and because your opponent can see from your energy what are you going to play, right? So this is what we're going to do. This is Demigra. And let's talk about the leader. So when this card attacks, you get to mill 3. So you put 3 cards, and if all the 3 cards from your deck to your drop area, they are black, you draw 1 card. That's that. And if it's not black, you don't get to draw, but that's too bad. We play 1 non-black card in this deck, so hopefully we will hit. So sometimes I hit it, but that's also good because that's the card I wanted in my hands, right? Hopefully it is in your life because you get to draw that card into it. It is Champa or this Hidden Power Supreme Kai. Whatever you play, it's fine. Just make sure that with Supreme Kai, you ensure that you go for the double strike. In my deck, I put in Champa because I just don't want to be a Rushak, so take note of that, right? So this is Demigra, so when he attacks the leader card, you get to mill 3, then if they are all black, you get to draw a card. When it's 4 less, you flip over, you untap 2. What he does is that he has wormhole now, so you can overwhelm 2 times or duck overwhelm, whatever it is. Activate main. When he swings, you get to draw a card, and also once per turn, you get to put it back 3 cards from your warp into your drop area to help out with the overwhelm. Alright, so let's go to the card proper. One of my favorite decks to play right now because he has so much answer for what we are playing, except Demigra, except Janimba, right? But that's nothing we can do over here. So I play 4 power bursts. A very good effect, although the sparking will be difficult to hit because it is Demigra. However, if you play just pay 1, what you get is that you get to bring back Time Control Konoha back into your hands. So you can use it as a 5k power, or you can use it when someone is playing Sugash. The reason why we are playing Konoha for 3 times over here, right, is that just to stop people from playing Sugash, because 1 Time Konoha stops everything. Alright, so when you play this card, you get to draw a card. Also, if you don't have it in your hands, when you get it milled, you can use Power Burst and bring it back into your hands and play it. So that's why we play Power Burst. Really great super combo given to black utilities, right? We play 2 copies of Seasoning Arrow. This is a great card, and I recommend. I want to bump it up to 3, but I think 2 it's good. I just don't know what to remove from my deck, but 2 seems like a good number for now. If I'm able to bump it up, I will bump it up. If your leader is Demigra, it gets 10,000 for the duration of the turn of the battle. If it's your turn, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and send it to the warp. And if it's a battle card, you combo with that in the combo area. So it continues to grind on your opponent's hands, because if he doesn't want to take damage, he doesn't want to give you a battle card, but it forces him to throw away his extra card, which he kind of needs. Maybe against Shenron, this is something that he needs. So this is really, really great utility, especially right now in this format. So when you swing, you tap 1 and you go. So it gets 10,000, and from the backside, your Demigra swings for 25, and if your opponent doesn't throw an extra card, your Demigra goes for 30, minimum a 30k swing with this particular 1 card for 1 energy. And honestly, you playing Demigra, you don't need a lot of energy to run. That is a good part, because you're running a lot of Overwhelm, which doesn't need a lot of energy. Yep. So we play 3 copies of Time Konoha, 4 copies of Supreme Kai. Take note that you need to put 5. So this is something. So even though you don't want to overwhelm, sometimes you want to just overwhelm just to make sure that you hit the 5. Yeah, in your warp. Gravy, play 4 of them. When you attack or combo with this card, so he's just for 2 costs. If your leader is black, choose up to 2 cards from warp and place them into your drop area. So for example, if you want to get to 6 and high count in your, because sometimes you need to overwhelm 2 times, right? How do you do it is with this guy, because when he combos, it's a minimum 3 in your drop area. Yeah? This I play 4 because it is so important for you to get the 2 cards, to get this card into your hands. This, you want it into your drop or warp area, this is totally fine, but this is the card that you want it in. This is the card that you want it in your hands. And when you play this, there's 2 ways to play it. Either you Dark Overwhelm for 3, so 3 cards in your warp, in your drop area, you play her. You can swing for 10k, and what you do is when you play this card, choose up to 1 Demigra with energy 4 or less from your deck and add it to your hands. So this is the guy that you wanted to add into your hands, or this guy. But this guy, you need it into your drop. And if this guy, it's already in your warp area, so it really depends what you want to do, right? It totally depends on you, what you want to do with it. Yeah. So one of the best card in your utility in your deck right now, it's for 3 Overwhelm. You get to look at top 3, and you pick 1 battle card and put the 2 down. So this is definitely a card that you want to play. Very, very great card, because what you do is you swing with this leader, you mill 3, then you play her, you swing again, then your opponent, then you get a battle card into your hand. So it's a very aggressive deck if your opponent does not even see it. Alright, so Time Trauma, this is definitely against like Shenron deck, because you need to awaken, right? So this helps to self-awaken, because when you play this card, if your leader is black, you may choose up to 2 cards from your life and add it into your hands. So if you're playing against Shenron, take note that this is the card that you want, and sub out this 3 cards for Black Mask Saiyan, because Black Mask Saiyan also helps you to take life, so to help you to awaken. This is a deck that you want to awaken, and also at the same time, when you play Black Mask Saiyan, there's a chance that you stop people from using Child Wished. So Trunks, Power Overseeing Time, a great card, because for just 4 Overwhelm and 2 energy, when you play this card, he is a 20k double striker. He has the ability to end the game. When you play this card using Overwhelm, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle card in your warp and add it into your hand. So 1 of your battle card in your warp and add it into your hand. So usually I use it to bring cards like this when I need it, cards like this when I need it, this card, other cards that you want it in your hands. And you can even bring this card back into your hands if you want it. So it's a very utility card. Whatever you bring warp back, warp from your leader's ability, because you are constantly milling, you take this card and you bring it back into your hands. So usually if I want to go for game, for 2 energy, you tap him, you swing, you bring a super combo back into your hands, and then you super combo, so a 30k double striker just for 2 energy. Alright, so this is the card that kind of would help you to win the game. So don't look at the Dark Overwhelm, right? Dark Overwhelm 4-3, this is not the way that you want to play. Hardcasted, you really don't want to do it this way. When this card attacks, your opponent chooses 1 card from your hands. I'll tell you how to bring it out later. So when this card attacks, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hands and send it to their warp. And if this card is a battle card, combo it. So you get hand destruction, and he's a minimum 25k. If your opponent doesn't want to throw an extra card, especially against Shiro, they will hate you for playing this card, right? Because your opponent wants to keep their Child Wish, their World Peace in their hands, but you're forcing them to do it. But if they don't do it, this card swings for 25k and above. It is like a seasoning arrow on a beating stick. Yeah, and you're gonna bring him out for free. I will show you how. Alright, so this is, unfortunately, I understand that this card, it's a little bit expensive, not as expensive as Baby Vegeta, but this is such a great card because just for Overwhelm 4, you get to play him, and when you tap 3, you get to use him and evolve on top of him. Yeah, so how this interaction works is that you have 4, you play 3. I usually do this at the round where I want to awaken. Yeah, so what I do is I play this with swing, maybe swing with the leader. When in 3, combo with 1 so that you get 4, or you use something which is defensive combo to put 1 in your drop area. So what you want to do is with this guy, you tap, you play him Overwhelm, tap 3, evolve him. So what he does is that when you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle card and send it to their warp. So you get to warp anything. And against a Shenron deck, this is so good because they play things from their drop area, but you don't send them to the drop, you send them to warp. Alright, so when you play this, you get to warp 1 of your opponent's battle card, and then you choose up to 1 battle card from your warp with energy 4 or less and play it. So I usually play this guy. So both of them stays on the board. And when this card attacks, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hands and send it to warp. And this is how I play it. So this is the combo: Overwhelm, evolve 3, then bring him out. So you have this guy and this guy, a 30k beat stick and a 20k minimum 20k to 25k beat stick. Yeah, and it warps a card, and also it destroys, it mills the hands of your opponent. So this is something that I usually play as energy, but if your opponent has quite a lot of things on the board like blockers and stuff like that, this is something that I play. Triple striker, when this card attacks, if your leader card is a demon god and if you have 15 or more black cards, rest assured you will hit that easy. Choose all of your opponent's battle card, ignoring barrier, and combo with them in your combo area. So if your opponent doesn't have a negate, it's a straight up GG. So this is a very late game card, and if you're playing up to 5 or 6, and if your opponent is in a deadlock, play him, swing with him, and hopefully you will end the game right there. If you don't end the game, if your opponent has a negate, you will definitely board clear. Yeah, because it ignores barrier. I play 2. I love this card. I might side deck it out, but so far this card, I have 1 game with this card before because they just don't see it coming. Because you could play something like that, you could swing, and then you get to draw 3, look at top 3, and then because it's the clutch, right? And usually your opponent might negate this, might negate your battle card's attack, and then you just go for the game and see if anything happens. Yep. So Marseille and the Mysterious Warrior for 5 Overwhelm and 1. He is a 20k double striker. You choose any number of your opponent's battle card without blocker. the total cost adds up to 5 and send them to the warp. So you warp little stuff that they have on the board. This is especially damaging against those people who are playing a lot of, you have a lot of opponents right now that plays a lot of this silver bullet cards, right? Because what they want to do is, in the end, they want to bring out Beyond Darkness Demigra. So they play a lot of silver bullets, draw cards, and hopefully hit one of your opponents. This is when this card comes in, warp all of the silver bullets away, and they cannot activate their Beyond Darkness Demigra, because Beyond Darkness needs 7 Dark Overrealm, so they need 7 of those cards. So this is a great card against those type of decks. And we play 4 of this, good card. And the SPR are cheap, so I would definitely recommend you getting the SPR, because the SPR for this card is so beautiful. And of course, this Beyond Darkness, I usually don't play this card because it's very, very difficult to. If your opponent has a negate, that's it. But if your opponent is in a deadlock, this is something that you can play. When this card attacks, your opponent reviews their hand, choose up to 4 battle cards from it, and then combo with them in your combo area. So how do you use this card is this, that if your opponent has a negate, that's it. If your opponent has a blocker, go for this guy. If your opponent, because usually when they have blocker, I think that they kind of feel safe somehow, that maybe they have not so much negates in their hands. But if your opponent has nothing on the board, play this guy, swing, even though your opponent negated, you can choose, you can destroy their hands by taking their important cards and combo with them and send it into the drop area. This is something that you can do. If you see super combos, if he doesn't negate it, if you see super combos that is non-black, still use it. The reason why is because you deny them of a 10k for nothing, and then you deny them of a card draw, right? Even though it's +0. So imagine they have 3 super combos. If you use it, you deny them of 30k that they need to, and 3 extra cards that they need to deal with your Demigra. Yeah, even though it's 0 in your hands, but the 10k denial and the card draw denial really makes up for the whole thing. Yep. So just for Spice itself, 1 Hidden Power, Supreme Kai, or 1 Champa. Blade Champa, I think that's the better card. So I'm just gonna go through how I play, right? So what I do is usually swing, draw 1 card, get 2, right? Then if you have this, you can play her, look at top 3, get 1 card, swing again. So this is turn 1. So the next turn, you could swing with him, again, mill 3, draw 1 card. So this is 3 swings. What I usually do is, if I have her, now you have 2 energy, right? And this is turn 2, it's usually fine. You play her, again, if you have her, look at top 3, draw 1 card, and then swing with her. So in turn 2, you swing 4 times. And then with the 2 energy, I play her. And then I look for one of this Demigra, which I do not have. Usually it's this guy. Put it into my hands. Swing with her. Turn 2, you swing 5 times. Yep. And then when turn 3 or turn 4, when you want to, if you want to awaken, I usually swing with him. I just don't care about the 15. Get the 3 cards into the drop area. Then a combo with 1. Overwhelm with him. So comes in. Tap 3. Evolve. Use him. Untap 2. Then tap, bring him out. This guy brings him out. And then I swing with him. And if your opponent is in a very low life, because maybe in turn 3 you were playing him and he takes the damage. When I swing with him, if your opponent is at 2, when I swing with him, your opponent usually says, okay, this is just 1 or something. Like they have 2 lives or something, that they would take this, they don't negate this, champa him, go for the game. So your opponent sometimes does not expect that when you are swinging so hard in turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. Because turn 2, turn 3, if your opponent has not even awakened you, you could swing, draw a card, mill 3, draw a card, overwhelm him, put a super combo back into your hands, swing with him, use a super combo, swing for 30k, double strike. And then after that, turn 4, do this, untap, bring this, do this, bring him, untap 2. Then after that, you swing with him, get one card off, so minimum 20, 25k. This is turn 4, 25k, then 30k, swing, tap 1, go for the game. Finished. So this is how you can play it, and I really enjoy playing this deck. I hope you enjoy it too. Any question, please feel free to put it down in the comment section. Any Demigra players out there, if you have any suggestion how I can improve the deck, go ahead and put it down there, because I really love playing Demigra, right? So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.